My colleague Paul Sisco has more.
Like beauty, judgments about the new president's first month in office appear to reflect the eye of the beholder. Out of the gate, President Trump has signed a number of executive orders, filled several high-level positions, and continues to speak his mind, in part with frequent tweets, and has rigorously battled the media.
It's all fake news. It's all fake news. The failing New York Times, I just see many, many untruthful things.
For the most part, those who voted for him, earning him the electoral victory and the presidency, are cautiously pleased with his 30-plus days in office. Those that did not are, to varying degrees, more cautious, angry, and fearful. To be sure, our system of checks and balances between the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches of government are being tested. Tensions between them are an inherent part of democracy, just as the freedoms of religion, speech, and assembly, and an independent judiciary are vital elements of a thriving civil society and democracy. The new president has been criticized for some of his statements and tweeted comments on the judiciary, even as he presents a new Supreme Court justice to the Congress for confirmation.
I don't ever want to call a court biased, so I won't call it biased. And we haven't had a decision yet. But courts seem to be so political, and it would be so great for our justice system if they would be able to read a statement and do what's right.
The statement refers to a lower court ruling on the president's travel ban and the federal law granting the president's authority to restrict those who enter the United States. Unlike previous new occupants of the White House, President Trump is not receiving the traditional honeymoon from the media.
Should I let him have a little bit more? What do you think, Peter?
Meanwhile, as the new president plows ahead on his agenda for America, he has had little to say about U.S. policy towards Africa. He spoke on the phone and received congratulations from Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari and South African President Jacob Zuma, adding he plans to continue working with them in their shared desire for peace and stability on the continent. Earlier this week, Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe said he agrees with the U.S. President's America for America approach, adding that with time, Mugabe believes President Trump might review the sanctions imposed by the U.S. on Zimbabwe in 2003 over alleged human rights violations. The Trump administration plans a thorough review of existing U.S.-African trade and aid practices and programs, possibly resulting in modifications and some culling of current agreements. And some analysts say President Trump sees most African nations and many of its leaders as inherently corrupt and squanderers of foreign aid, suggesting a scaling back of existing pro-Africa trade agreements and a reduction in U.S. development resources for sub-Saharan Africa. Paul Sisco, VOA News, Washington.
Thanks, Paul, for that report.